you feel like you're stuck in the situation that you're in and that you're just an outsider looking in, like peering into other people's worlds and like seeing. But every time you think about it, it's like you're pulled back into the world of negativity, because when you dwell on it and you think about all the betrayal and like what these people said and did to you, you know, to stop your forward movement, I bet it pisses you off. Anger management was there, so I bet it, like, that anger, you know, stirs within you, and I think that's your devil. You stayed hungry and stayed foolish. That's what it's all about. You're reborn, my friend, and you're loving life. Yeah, you're no longer like complacent or stagnant or bored. Like, you knowing what you want to see happen is what pulled you out. Yeah, not stopping for anyone. No, your boundaries are up. Your wish fulfillment, you're working on something in secret with your boundaries up, like protecting yourself, protecting what's yours, and you're moving forward no matter what, and you're pulling yourself out of this like boredom, stagnancy type feeling. Overcoming death, pulling yourself up out of the mud, literally, to reach this level of loving life again and like reaching for something new, a new dream. First card out, presence. Collective, you have presence, my dear. Let's go and get into it. Let's see what is going on in my divine collective today. Presence, eh? Something about you carry certain bravado about you. I don't know why bravado came in, but bravado it is. All right, angels and ancestors, give us one fabulous reading that the collective needs to hear today. There's a presence of untapped spiritual gifts within you, collective. And these untapped spiritual gifts are what your angels and ancestors really have left behind for you to discover and embody, bring to the forefront. I get a sense that like you're right there. You're about to uncover them. And these spiritual gifts, they don't have to be like psychic or, you know, anything like that. They can just be the gift of discernment. The gift of just having really good intuition, or even like a good judge of character is a great spiritual gift that could be untapped. Or seeing through people even, you know? All right. What is the message that my collective most needs to hear? That you do have a direct connection to source. So your untapped spiritual gifts, well, we'll get into it, because maybe we'll see these untapped spiritual gifts turn into like ascension and you actually uncovering them. My readings tend to go in chronological order, so I am going to ask that. We want chronological order of this storyline, please. And you are naturally joyful. Even that can be a spiritual gift, where you're just naturally like a joy to be around, like you're not faking it, you know? Maybe because you do have a direct connection to source, that, you know, that in and of itself makes you naturally joyful. Like you knowing that. What else? This is great energy to start. Something about your eyes. This one's been coming out a lot lately. Or naturally joyful eyes too. Like people, like when people look into your eyes, I don't know, I kind of get that something happens. Presence of in-laws? Am I in the presence of your in-laws? Possibly. Or maybe you are in the presence of your own in-laws. New alliances though. Most inspiring Steve Jobs Award. You know, he did a really great commencement speech years ago. That's where I get my stay humble, stay foolish from. That is such an inspiring commencement speech. If you've never heard that, look up Steve Jobs' commencement speech on YouTube. So good. Studying, learning something new. Maybe you went back to school, thinking about going back to school, or you're just sort of doing your research right now. Girl or guy next door vibes. Not stopping for anyone. So you're driven, possibly even driven because of your direct connection to source. That's what's driving you forward. That's what's inspiring you. Inspiring you to keep moving forward. Imports. Maybe looking for deliveries, or you're waiting on some sort of import. I don't know why imported cars came to mind, but maybe that. Maybe you just ordered a car and it's being shipped from overseas. Don't involve yourself. It's going to, whatever spirit's trying to tell you not to involve yourself in, it's going to affect your joy levels. So stay out of it. Got that really strongly. Stay out of it. And I don't have that card. Maybe I need to make it stay out of it. Campaign. Stay out of the campaign. Friend zone. You might be angry about this friend zoning. Oh no. An ant has anger management problems. An ant is angry. About chemistry, I'm taking it. An ant is angry about chemistry. And chemistry doesn't have to be, it could be like your ability to remain joyful, you know, it's like built in you. It's natural. But I also get in-laws, chemistry. I mean, they could be involved in the sciences. They don't have to be. But possibly. Bottom of the deck, wealth transfer. You're balanced in your light and dark energies. Oh, that's the chemistry too. Once you become balanced in your light and dark, your shadow and light aspects, there's a certain magnetism that you embody because you are so balanced. It's like the universe wants to send you things, you know, because it's like you're able to accept them for what they're worth. And it does have something to do with like your, possibly even like chemical makeup. I don't know why that's a thing. I also get synergy between your light and dark energies. And that's also inspiring too. It's like people are inspired by your ability to remain balanced. Least accountable, the Deflector Award. Yeah, I get like whatever's thrown at you because of how you're balanced, it just bounces on you and reflects right off. It's like shot right back, boomerang effect. Yeah, I don't get this as like a bad thing. I get this as like you're not accountable for other people's actions and how, and this is falling right in the middle of the reading too. You're not accountable for how others want to deflect or how they internalize like the backfire energy, you know, like whatever's thrown at you and it bounces off of you, like they might feel some sort of way about that, but you're not accountable in the least for how they feel. Sorry. I noticed we were going sideways on the shuffle here and I don't like that. Okay, maybe not. Bet. Also BET. Maybe BET, like the channel, could be a thing in your world, doesn't have to be, but you're like, bet, I got this. Most self-absorbed, the Marsha Award. The most self-absorbed? Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe you're dealing with somebody? Who's the most self-absorbed? Who thinks everything's about them? And they'd be willing to bet on it? Someone who's in the city, or possibly you're in the city right now. Escalating behaviors. Okay. What did I say in the beginning? Maybe as we go along, we'll see that your spiritual gifts are intact and not untapped. And that's where you're at. You've tapped into your spiritual gifts. Ooh, I love that. And your spiritual gifts, so I say this all the time. When you become balanced in your light and dark energies, the universe likes to reward that, especially with Saturn. And, a part of Saturn's exiting a sign before it goes, because if you have learned all of your lessons within Saturn's transit, which is a couple of years, then it rewards you. And I believe you were rewarded with spiritual gifts that you are now able to tap into because of how balanced you are. Like, you know when to pull out your dark side, and you know when to... Isn't that funny? Stay hungry, stay foolish. You do need to listen to that commencement speech, by the way, by Steve Jobs. You donezo. Donezo. I've never gotten this card before. You're like, bet on that. I'm fucking done. Clout chaser. I don't know if you're dealing with a clout chaser. Possibly, because it would have fallen out next to most self-absorbed, the Marsha Award. So maybe you thought everything was about you, only to find out, like, it actually wasn't. Peeping Tom. You have angels on your side, both working for you, like, in real life, but then also spiritually, too. Yeah, you're heavily protected because you're donezo. It's like once you put your boundaries up and you're a new soul. Yeah, once you put your boundaries up and became, like, had this presence about you and became balanced in your light and dark, that's when everything started to move and uncover itself for you. Sorry, let me organize this so I have room for my last row here. Okay. Escalating behaviors because of the spiritual gifts that you were coming into. Staying hungry, staying foolish, staying open, loving life. Again, your energy, like the way you're able to have appreciation amidst everything that's going on in your world is really, really something to treasure about yourself. This is really good energy. Retirement? Maybe you're thinking about retiring from, I don't know what you do. Three more, Spirit, to close this first part of the reading out. Highly sought after. What else? What other messages need to come out for the collective? When you're in alignment, you'll attract haters and lovers alike. Totally, especially with a presence like yours. That's bound to happen. Okay. Professional athlete. What did I see yesterday that made me not like sad? Because I didn't feel bad for him. I actually just felt really happy for the guy. Tom Brady. there was like something on Instagram where he was like going out on his yacht and it was just him. And everyone was like, oh, poor Tom Brady. And I'm like, no, not poor Tom Brady. The guy could like have anybody, he could have anyone join him on his yacht excursions, you know, whenever he wants. So no, not poor Tom Brady. He probably chose that himself. Why I'm bringing that up, I don't know. Probably because Professional Athlete came out and like Loving Life, New Soul. Something about you being donezo. Well, yeah, retirement. Oh, maybe I am speaking to Tom Brady. In which case, hello, sir. I hope you had a wonderful yacht excursion. You're mysterious and people both love and hate it. Well, it is what it is. And then we end off with elite. Anything else? Keep going. Professional athlete showed up again. Or maybe it doesn't even have to be Tom Brady. It can be somebody who plays football. Somebody who knows Tom Brady, like personally. Okay, a little refresher here. Presence, untapped spiritual gifts. You have a direct connection to source and you're naturally joyful. There's something about your eyes. In-laws are a thing in your world. You do get the most inspiring Steve Jobs Award. And you need to go and listen to Steve Jobs' commencement speech, Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish. Not stopping for anyone. Something about a campaign. A campaign or even a competition, I would say. And then friend zone pops in. There is chemistry there. Balanced in your light and dark energies. Least accountable, the deflector award. You're like, I'm not responsible for how you want to take my energy. And you're like, bet on that. Most self-absorbed, so you were dealing with somebody who was just like, Marsha. Escalating behaviors started to happen. Spiritual gifts. You did end up getting into your spiritual gifts. You stayed hungry and stayed foolish. That's what it's all about. Sorry, that's my laundry. I'll consider that confirmation. You donezo, though. You do have angels on your side, both in the 3D and 5D. You're a new soul. You're reborn, my friend, and you're loving life. So yeah, maybe the fact that Tom Brady was out on his yacht by himself was just a part of his new life. Where it's like, maybe in the past, he was the type of person to have anyone and everyone join him. Just because, and it's like, now he's maybe operating differently. I don't know. But retirement did pull out, it just didn't fall out, so that's why I keep pulling on Tom Brady's energy. Anyway, when you're in alignment, you'll attract both lovers and haters alike, so keep that in mind. You are mysterious and people both love and hate it, and you're dealing with the elite somehow. Okay. Let's just get a real quick gauge on what your energy is. What's the collective's current energy right now? What current energy of the divine collective? Okay, number 5. Maybe May was significant, or just the number 5 in general is significant in your world. Possibly something happens in 5 days. But 5 represents change, escalating behaviors, even competition, like trying to win at all costs. I do get like a very highly competitive nature about you, or at least about this current situation that you find yourself in, or possibly did find yourself in. But number 5 represents goblins. I'll read it a little bit, but I get a sense of maybe hiding yourself away a little bit. This is you're mysterious and people both love and hate it. The goblins are obviously the haters. Like, you see them lurking? You see the eyes? The hills have eyes. Let me read just a smidgen about that. Okay. Number 5, goblins. Fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself and others. If this card comes out in the upright, which it did, goblins are born when you're wounded and something essential is lost in that experience. From that point on, as you forget your wholeness, they remain with you in the shadows. There, they remind you of what brought them into being by mimicking your own voice, tricking you into believing that you're unworthy, victimized, or unlovable. They hold you hostage through low self-worth, self-sabotage, and the feeling that you're lacking what you need. If goblins play you a visit, know that they represent the shadow of your own self or someone else's, and that they're leading you into a potentially reactive situation. Oh, I get these goblins, like whether it's of your own making or literally like, you know, people around you. I get like rage baiting, and even anger management, you know, was in there, and it was going to fall out next to most self-absorbed, the Marsha Award. So be aware of people trying to rage bait you. They just want some sort of reaction out of you. A goblin's card appearance is an opportunity for growth, however, and a signal that you must love yourself. No human is without flaws. The goblin's message is that you must release resentments and negative self-talk. Within you is the spark of the divine. Ask Spirit to help heal you. Miracles can and do happen. Let go of the negativity. There's something you like, yeah. Negative self-talk. Maybe a situation, this competition or the rage baiting, or I don't know. Maybe you like fell asunder to that, but you sort of like realized that quickly, possibly, and sort of, you know, were able to reclaim that part of yourself. Let's get one more. What other energy is the collective currently embodying? Yeah, maybe you're taking a closer look at what triggers you. Like what gets under your skin. You know, so that way, like when the goblins do approach, or like when your own thoughts start to like turn negative, you'll be able to see that more readily and untrigger yourself. I've been doing that myself recently, where like immediately when I notice that I'm just in this like negative self-talk loop, I'll put on like a song that I know that pulls me out of it. Music for me is a good way of transmuting the energy. What is my divine collective? What energy are they currently in? And then we'll get into the tarot. Because I don't get like a very clear storyline of something specific is happening to you. Like there is a lot of good energy here and movement around you, but I don't get like any one particular thing happened. So I am sort of curious. Yeah, all right. Tell us what energy is my divine collective in right now? Earth element number 38, which is also an 11. Stability. You're being very practical, down to earth, maybe enjoying your time outside. Focused on what's in front of you, like what needs to be focused on. You know, like your business, your home, just simple errands and tasks, like very in the now, right now, what needs to be done, what needs to be accomplished. Yeah, you're very practical, very down to earth. Maybe this full moon really helped you out. The full moon that we had on the 29th of July. Maybe that brought things to the surface for you. Or it was like a culmination of everything from the past, and now it's like we're coming off of that energy and it's like forward movement, and now it's just like a matter of practicality. What needs to be done? What do I need to focus on? What requires my time and energy and effort? Okay, good. Where do I want to go from here? Let's see. Let's get into this. All right, angels and ancestors. I don't get a very clear like storyline of anything like happening particularly, which is totally fine, but what's the current what does my collective need help with? The devil. That could be the negative self-talk. You know, like how you internalize things or how you see things. Maybe in the past, negativity was sort of the first emotion, anger, and then negativity attached to that. And maybe like you're working through that. High Priestess, though. Like you see it. Yeah, you're seeing something for yourself. Yeah, you're bringing in the love. Naturally joyful, loving life. All right. What does my collective need help with? And like 5 to 6 cards, what do they need help with? Okay, directionally. Moving forward. You got the world in your hands. Maybe because of retirement, you're like, now what do I do with myself? What else? You're looking back on things, back on actions of the past. Trying to get a clearer idea of like what you did, where that took you, but now where you want to go. What do you want to do? What did you learn? Queen of Wands. You're in heavy contemplation about this most self-absorbed, the Marsha word. Or you're just seeing, like, possibly even seeing red flags from the past. Where you didn't in the beginning, like missteps. You're like, ah, shit, you know? Should have noticed that. More on what my collective currently needs help with. Lovers. I feel like you see where you, I don't know if I want to say went wrong, but like you're seeing how actions of the past have affected you to where you are now. This is in-laws. Maybe your in-laws got really involved in your previous relationship or your current relationship. Yeah, you're seeing how their involvement affected things. One more for what the collective needs help with. I kind of get a sense that like you want to apologize on behalf of like your family in some sort of way, or actions of those surrounding you regarding the chemistry here. Wish fulfillment. And secret. Your wish would be to take these people to court. Or like hold them to their actions of the past. Like feet to fire type. But like what you need my help on is, I feel like you don't know what to do. I don't know if it's like you don't know what to do about this Queen of Wands in your world. Could be a family member or somebody just very close to you. You would have to know who this person is. Like they're super fiery. They stand out in a crowd. They do carry presence about them. You know, they're the type of person that is, like when they're joyful, they bring joy to others. But when this queen is not in a joyful mood, then it brings down the entire energy of the family and those around them. And I feel like you're beginning to see that very much so, like very clearly. And yeah, there's something about like what this person did either on your behalf or without you even knowing. And I kind of get a sense that like you are done, you want to move forward, and you're like apologizing on behalf of these people, but I don't know who you're apologizing to. So why don't we just ask that? Well, let's just clarify. What's the direction here? The Two of Wands. Why did that pull out for what the collective needs help with? So that's direction, movement, like needing help knowing how to maybe manage to somebody or somebody's. Why is the Two of Wands here? You're trying to understand how to move forward because of something that you found out, some sort of message that you've received, whether that was somebody calling you or you got a text message, email, some sort of information, like some message came into you that like really sort of made you see things differently and also made you want to move differently too. What's this Hermit? Why is the Hermit here? It really made you stop and look at the past. Now we got Three of Wands. Yeah, this is actions of the past. You paused a minute. Once you got this communication, it totally made you turn your back and you're like, I have got to, yeah, you donezo. Moving forward, like you see things clearly. You see people and the situation clearly now. Whether that's, I think this message coming in just probably allowed you the ability to really stop and think. So maybe where your intuition was telling you things, you're the type of person that just needed a little bit more validation, and whatever message came into you really validated something for you to where like you stopped and paused and thought about things from a whole new angle. What about this Queen of Wands? Regarding home life, regarding what was going on at home, regarding a home in general, regarding family matters. Remember what I was saying about how this person, you know, if they're happy, then everyone's happy. But if they're not happy, then the world knows it. You know, certainly the family members around them know it. And it does have everything to do with like comfortability aspect, whether that's monetarily or just, you know, assets. What about this Lovers? Queen of Wands, Lovers. This is somebody you got into like a marriage or a long-term relationship with, possibly even had a baby with. Death to the Empress. Oh, let's put a stop to whatever it is that you were trying to work on. Like you were in the midst of working on something and then whomever this person is in your world, I believe your wife, or could just be somebody that like, it is somebody in your family though. Somebody in your family got pregnant. Give me one more on this Ace of Wands. Yeah, you slept with somebody. Give me one more on this Four of Wands, Ace of Cups. Four of Wands, Ace of Cups. Eight of Swords. Kind of made you fearful about the future. This is also maybe like fearful of what was said too. Like you don't know what direction this is going to be taken in. What's this Five of Wands all about? The Emperor. You're fighting with your father? Or a father? Why is the Five of Wands here? Or possibly your in-law? Your father-in-law? Yeah, their judgment is being rendered like possibly even right this very moment. Judgment was rendered recently in regards to a family situation. It does have to do with a baby and home life and being scared. I do think that you got into it with like your father-in-law. What is this Knight of Cups here for? What's the Knight of Cups here for? It's like you're apologizing on behalf of what these people said. No, you're leaving because you donezo. You're a new soul, loving life. Like, you want to move on and you want to leave this shit behind you. And I guess the only way to do that is to take legal action and communicate your side, especially in regards to like what they tried to do to you, possibly just tried to end your forward movement in general. I don't want to say end you because I don't get any of that information here, but end your progress. What's this Knight, or not Knight? What's this Nine of Cups? Moon. Queen of Swords. We have a King of Swords and a Queen of Swords out here. So we do have a match. There is chemistry on the table, and there is spiritual gifts here. Give us 2 cards on this wish fulfillment. There's like a secret wish fulfillment you have, or like you're trying to work on. 2. You're taking the necessary steps quietly. This fell upside down. 4 of Cups. Yeah, you're no longer like complacent or stagnant or bored. Like, you knowing what you want to see happen is what pulled you out. Yeah, not stopping for anyone. No, your boundaries are up. Your wish fulfillment You're working on something in secret with your boundaries up, like protecting yourself, protecting what's yours, and you're moving forward no matter what, and you're pulling yourself out of this like boredom, stagnancy type feeling. Like, or at least that's what your wish fulfillment is, and you're loving life. You're a new soul. But something was, you're about to get communication in regards to what a family tried to put an end to, whether that was just you communicating to others what had happened in the past, like what your partner said or did in the past. There is a baby here. So, let me see. Angels and ancestors, what advice specifically, because I feel like this person has their actions underway. Maybe they're going about it like a little bit more mysteriously these days, but I don't see that as a bad thing. That could just be a part of their boundary keeping. So I guess like what advice would you give this person about their forward movement? Like, what do you see currently in their forward movement that needs to change? How about that? What in this person's current movement needs to change, if anything? Like, what's your take on their forward movement and how they're going about things, basically? We're only going to do like 5 cards or so. I'm already at an hour. I don't understand how I can talk that. Well, I do, because this doesn't feel like a job to me, but I don't understand how time gets away from me so bad. My editors are going to be so mad because he's like, if you could keep it down to like 40 minutes or so. And I'm like, yeah, sure. 54 minutes in. Cards are being weird today. King of Pentacles. This is you being so self-assured in what you know and what you do and how you manage to your business. This is boss up vibes. Okay, ownership. Ownership of what brings you fulfillment. Like what would bring you contentness? What would make you happy? Ownership of that. Okay. Just being honest about how you feel. Ooh. This came out sideways. You're working through ownership of your negative thoughts and feelings on the whole thing. Maybe what was done to you, because the Ten of Swords is out here. Maybe what was done to you can be perceived as such a betrayal. You know, it's like you're so donezo with these people. But every time you think about it, it's like you're pulled back into the world of negativity, because like when you dwell on it and you think about all the betrayal and like what these people said and did to you, you know, to stop your forward movement, I bet it pisses you off. Anger management was there. So I bet it, like, that anger, you know, stirs within you. And I think that's your devil, like starting to see, you know, when the devil has a tendency to come out in you. And that could be at times where, like, when you're hungry, you get hangry, you get short with people, or when one thing doesn't go your way and it pisses you off, then it can set the tone for the rest of the day. Or like you don't get time to yourself in the morning, or you don't work out, or like you don't have sex, or, you know, name it, you name it. You don't eat enough, you don't eat the right things, you don't sleep enough. Whatever that devil is, you need to take ownership of it and change. Like, own it, see it, and then make changes. Stay hungry, stay foolish. The Lovers. Yeah, you feel like you're stuck in the situation that you're in and that you're just an outsider looking in, like peering into other people's worlds and like seeing potentially like, you know, what they have or what they're moving towards and like what you would like for yourself. Even, you know, comparison. That can be a devil in and of itself. And like coming to terms with, you know, jealousy or envy, even. I mean, greed, what other people's have. Materialists did show up in the cards, it just didn't fall out. So either you're dealing with somebody who is a materialist, you know, just wants certain things, wants to live a certain lifestyle, and it's like maybe you're done with that sort of way of being, and but you feel stuck. I do get like a stuckness here. Maybe even pulling yourself out of stuckness. You know, a limiting belief or a devil can be like not believing in yourself enough to change your circumstances. Or even how you went about your business, too, could be a part of the devil. Like maybe it wasn't the most honest way of going about business strategy. That could be it, too. Just so that you could, you know, I don't know, do what you wanted to, and now it's coming back to bite you, that sort of thing. It's like, no, we gave you this money to do this, and you started the business, and maybe now it's like you're seeing it's something that you don't want, or like it was just a means for like your partner to have a certain lifestyle, and you're like, that's not what I want anymore. Yeah, you're looking at all of this. Again, with the Queen of Wands, Hermit, Queen of Wands. You're seeing your partner clearly. Your partner and their family, for that matter, because Five of Wands came out. You're like seeing where all the chaos is coming from. More on advice. And Tom Brady's a good example of hermit mode. Like him being on his yacht by himself and everyone like, oh my God, what's going on with Tom? I was so caught off guard by like the comments on it that I was like, why do fucking people care so much? It's like the man is going out on a boat to enjoy himself on water. Why does it matter if he's around people or not? But that's sort of the thing, is like, maybe it's time for you to go into hermit mode, like remove yourself so that you have a clearer image and can actually think, you know, without others like chirping. Okay, I've never gotten this channeled message before, but if you have chirping smoke alarms in your home, change the batteries. Sometimes I'll be like listening to readers and they have that going on. I'm like, how does that not drive you insane? Like legitimately, how? Yeah, okay, confirmation. I have my dryer's done and it's ringing bells. How do you, you know, it's like, how do you even focus when it's like beep, beep, like, All right, 2 more for advice on for the collective. The Sun. Two more. maybe there was like a death in the family. This is the second 10 of Swords that has come out. And if it wasn't death, then it was certain things that people said to you. Lies. Means of control, you know, like lies in a way for manipulation's sake to, you know, get their way. You're not seeing things in the correct light. People just lied to cover up. Again, with the Five of Wands, yes. It was like lies to cover up lies. So yeah, you definitely were betrayed. We want one or two more on advice. So it's like the cards, the advice here from my angels and ancestors are like, you need to take ownership of the way you think about things and how you go about things, particularly your business, in the past and currently. And you need to start seeing those around you clearly if you haven't already. Like, you know, if you take a little bit more time to focus, place a healthy focus on the things that you need to do, like be thankful for the fact that you're able to work or like you're able to go to a job. That's a good way of bringing up your energy relatively quickly. I do get an element of being thrown under the bus though, like used for something. One or two more on advice. Death. Death to the Star. Although this did come out sideways, so why do I get like beating death? You know, maybe there could have been a near-death experience in your world and you were able to overcome it, and that's sort of like what changed your perspective on everything and is giving you hope for a new day, a new way of operating, like a new way of seeing yourself, and new wishes for yourself too, like something new to reach for. And that could have been like your spiritual gifts helping you out too, helping you reach the star status, overcoming death, pulling yourself up out of the mud, literally, to reach this level of loving life again and like reaching for something new, a new dream. I think having a new appreciation for, yeah. Five of Wands again. I don't think people thought that you were going to see your way out of this situation or possibly just near-death experience. They didn't think that you would like overcome it. This is a stay hungry, stay foolish. And like the fact that you are continuing to make a move and like continuing to be on your journey. You got a whole bunch of people who, you know, when you're in alignment, you'll attract haters and lovers alike. And they all want a piece. So just know that. Know that you overcame death. And that you have a new star in your life. A new goal to reach. A new hope, a new wish. And you are mysterious. People both love and hate that. That's also the Five of Wands. They love and hate to see it at the same time. Interesting. Well, overall, I think this was a really good reading. You may not feel like that, but from my perspective, looking at the cards, you've overcome a lot and you see things a lot clearer. You might not get exactly what you had hoped to get, but that doesn't mean like your new hope and your new want isn't something that you will get. You know what I mean? Like now that you're a new soul and you're loving life again, you have new hopes and wishes and dreams to chase after. And regardless of how many people want a piece, you know, they see your worth, they see your value, both for better or for worse. I feel like that's changing your perspective of things. It's like if you don't have haters, then you're doing something wrong. You know what I mean? So there's inherent value in the haters too. And you need to siphon that energy for yourself to where it's like, you want to hate? Okay. Let me take all that in, transmute it, and chase after your dreams. Stay hungry, stay foolish, my friends. This was a great reading. Thank you for joining me today. I love you guys. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.